The human fleet glided silently through the void, a silent testament to centuries of preparation and mastery. Commander Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, her eyes scanning the holographic display of countless stars, each a potential ally or threat. The alien moon ahead, a neutral territory, orbited a blue gas giant, its surface untouched by war but poised to witness a confrontation it had never seen before. Humanity was not coming with guns blazing. They were coming with calculated intent, the weight of history behind every ship, every maneuver, every light pulse across the fleet. The Council had underestimated humans for decades. They had seen them as just another species, clever perhaps, but fragile and divided. Yet here they were, hundreds of ships moving in flawless formation, coordinated with a precision that could only come from centuries of strategy and collaboration. Elena allowed herself a small, private smile. Humanity's reputation for resilience was known, but its true reach had yet to be revealed. Sensors flickered, showing alien craft entering the system, their movements deliberate and cautious. These were observers, emissaries sent to evaluate humanity's intentions before any council session began. Elena's voice cut through the bridge, calm but authoritative. Maintain formation. No ship fires unless I give the order. Let them see our strength before they fear it. The alien ships hovered at the periphery, examining the human fleet like predators studying a newly arrived apex species. Energy shields glimmered faintly, but not as a threat. Humanity's power was not in intimidation. It was in presence, in the meticulous orchestration of allies, and in the invisible network of loyalty that stretched across star systems. Each pulse of the flagship's quantum engine was a message. Humans had allies. Hundreds, if not thousands, of worlds owed them allegiance, whether through past aid, trade, or survival debt. Inside the council chamber on the moon's surface, alien delegates whispered among themselves. Their long claws and fine-scaled hands betrayed tension, even in species accustomed to centuries of interstellar politics. Elena's team had anticipated their scrutiny. Holographic projections of fleet arrangements, energy readouts, and calculated trajectories floated above the bridge tables. Any observer could see the elegance of strategy, the subtle dominance without aggression. The humans had come prepared, not for war, but for the demonstration of consequence, that every action against them would meet coordinated resistance from countless allies. Communication channels pinged softly. Elena signaled to one of her lieutenants. A human fleet from the outer rim had just completed its repositioning maneuver, creating a lead defensive lattice around the moon's orbit. To the untrained eye, it appeared routine, but it was designed to intercept any rogue vessel before it could even reach the negotiation site. Every ship's position had been calculated to maximize coverage while minimizing conflict, a perfect balance of caution and authority. The alien observers reacted visibly, some bristling at the sight, others intrigued. One of the council's younger delegates, a thin-limbed being with reflective skin, approached the holographic interface and hesitated. They move as one, it murmured in a language of clicks and whispers. Yet they do not strike. Elena's communications officer translated for the bridge. Correct. Their unity is as strong as their restraint. That is humanity's power. A sudden alert lit the display. A rogue vessel had attempted to enter the system undetected. Elena's hands danced over controls, and within moments, the ship was contained within a shimmering energy field. It was not destroyed. There was no explosion, no flare of violence. Yet the message was unmistakable. Humans and their allies would respond instantly, decisively, but not recklessly. The Council and its delegates could see, understand, and record the lesson without a single casualty. The fleet glided closer to the moon, maintaining flawless formation. Elena allowed herself a brief glance at the stars, a reminder of the immense responsibility resting on humanity's shoulders. This was not just a negotiation. It was the unveiling of a truth long overlooked by the galaxy. Humans, underestimated and underestimated again, were no longer a species to be dismissed. Their presence alone could command respect, force consideration, and shape alliances across light years. As the first communications with the council began, Elena's voice resonated through the bridge speakers, calm yet imbued with authority. "We are here to talk. We do not come to conquer, nor to intimidate. But understand this. Humanity travels with allies, and the galaxy has already witnessed their answer when we call." The moon's surface shimmered with the approaching fleet, alien ships holding position respectfully. For the first time, the council realized that they were not dealing with isolated humans. They were confronting the culmination of strategy, loyalty, foresight, and centuries of preparation. The galaxy had underestimated humanity one last time, and the cost of ignoring them was about to be understood. Elena's gaze swept over the fleet once more, and a quiet, determined smile crossed her face. This was only the beginning. The humans had arrived, and the council's preconceptions were about to crumble, not through violence, but through precision, unity, and the silent, unstoppable weight of preparation. The council chamber on the alien moon was filled with tension, the kind that stretched across species and light years. Commander Elena Ward stood calmly at the forefront of the human delegation, her posture radiating authority without aggression. Every alien present was aware of the weight of history embedded in this moment. Humans had arrived not with bluster, but with precision, foresight, and the backing of countless allies who had pledged loyalty through acts of aid, survival, and trust. Holographic displays projected the human fleet in motion, each ship's trajectory and energy signature mapped in intricate detail. Observers from dozens of species leaned forward, their compound eyes or reflective skins glinting in the chamber's ambient light. The human's presence was a study in disciplined coordination. No unnecessary movements, no reckless displays of firepower, just calculated, controlled authority that radiated strength. Every microsecond of the fleet's maneuvering was a message. Humanity was ready, fully aware, and impossible to underestimate. A young alien delegate, limbs thin and almost translucent, whispered in a string of clicks to a neighboring representative. "They do not threaten, yet they dominate." "How?" The neighboring delegate shook its head slowly. "It is not dominance through weapons, but through foresight. They have allies we cannot even imagine." Meanwhile, Elena's lieutenants coordinated the outer fleet. Remote drones scanned the surrounding systems, ensuring no rogue ships approached unnoticed. The containment protocols, subtle yet powerful, created a multi-layered shield of deterrence without harming any vessel. Humans had mastered this delicate balance: authority without unnecessary aggression, power without destruction, and unity that extended far beyond their own species. Through the observation portals, the council delegates could see distant alien fleets answering the call. These were species humans had helped in the past. Trade networks stabilized, crises resolved, and emergency assistance provided in moments of need. Every fleet present represented centuries of relationships, proof that humans did not act alone. Even the most skeptical council members could not ignore the implications. Humanity had built a network of loyalty that spanned entire star systems, and it moved as one, invisible threads binding hundreds of worlds together. Suddenly, a sensor alert interrupted the murmurs. A small fleet of unaligned ships was attempting to breach the outer perimeter. Elena's fingers danced across her console, deploying energy barriers that shimmered with calculated precision. Within moments, the rogue ships were corralled into a containment zone. Not a shot was fired, yet the lesson was clear. Every species present understood: challenge humanity, and the consequences would ripple instantly through the galaxy, enforced by allies they had never imagined. Inside the chamber, the council's delegates exchanged glances. They had underestimated humans, yet what they witnessed now left them unsure of how to respond. These were not just soldiers or diplomats, they were strategists, diplomats, and leaders who had mastered interstellar influence. Elena spoke, her tone calm yet resonant. "We have come to negotiate, not to conquer. But understand this: our reach is vast, and our alliances extend further than you can comprehend. Any threat to peace will be met by coordinated response. We act decisively, but justly." The council fell silent. Whispers died down as every delegate digested the human message. There was no fear, only acknowledgement of capability and planning. Humanity's approach was different from any the galaxy had seen, measured, precise, and deeply rooted in trust and foresight. Unlike empires that relied solely on brute force, humans wielded strategy and loyalty as their greatest weapons. Outside, the fleets continued to maneuver, their paths reflecting both defense and readiness. Elena's gaze swept across the holographic displays, confirming that every Allied fleet was in position, every energy barrier active, every contingency mapped. The galaxy's first true demonstration of human foresight was unfolding in real time. A delegation from a distant sector finally spoke up. "We thought humans were naive," it said, voice tinged with awe. "But their unity, their planning, it is unparalleled." Elena responded simply, a quiet confidence radiating in her posture. "We are not naive. We are prepared. And we do not act alone. The galaxy has already witnessed the answers when we call." The observation portals reflected a mosaic of ships from hundreds of worlds. Each one was a silent testament to humanity's centuries-long path, aid rendered, crises resolved, alliances forged. Humans did not dominate through fear. They dominated through respect, foresight, and relationships that transcended species boundaries. As the Council began formal negotiations, a subtle shift occurred. Alien delegates adjusted their positions, not out of fear, but out of recognition. They were engaging with humans as equals, acknowledging their strategic mastery and the invisible but undeniable weight of the alliances behind them. Humanity had arrived, not with destruction, but with clarity, authority, and a demonstration that would resonate across the galaxy for generations to come. And as the talks commenced, Elena allowed herself a brief moment of satisfaction. Chapter 1 of this negotiation and demonstration of power was complete. Humanity had spoken, not with guns, but with presence, preparation, and the unspoken strength of countless allies answering their call. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath as the human and allied fleets repositioned for maximum coverage. Commander Elena Ward stood at the bridge of the Resolute, observing the sensor feeds with calm precision. Every ship, every drone, every energy field was part of a meticulously crafted plan. The aliens had learned quickly that humans did not react impulsively. They anticipated, calculated, and executed with perfect timing. Reports arrived from distant sectors. Rogue vessels attempting to infiltrate Council space were intercepted seamlessly. The humans had designed containment protocols that neutralized threats without causing casualties or unnecessary damage. Energy barriers shimmered in elegant arcs, corralling intruders into controlled zones. The fleet moved like a living organism, a testament to humanity's strategic mastery and centuries of preparation. Each allied species knew its role instinctively, a silent choreography orchestrated by Elena and her team. Inside the council chambers, delegates whispered in astonishment. "They control the situation without even firing a shot," murmured one reptilian counselor, claws tapping nervously on the crystalline table. "Their coordination, it's as if the fleet itself thinks." Another, a thin-skinned amphibian, added, "We have underestimated humans for centuries. Now we see their reach is beyond anything we imagined." Meanwhile, Elena's lieutenants analyzed every movement. The rogue fleets exhibited complex evasive patterns, but human sensors had already mapped their capabilities. Each maneuver was predicted and counted with subtle energy fields, blocking escape routes and guiding ships to designated zones. The aliens could see it happening, yet they were powerless to interfere. Humanity had transformed what might have been chaotic encounters into a demonstration of control, restraint, and tactical brilliance. Communication channels buzzed as allied ships relayed confirmations. Worlds that humans had helped generations ago were now acting in unison. Trade networks had been stabilized, emergencies had been mitigated, and gratitude had been converted into loyalty. Every response reinforced the truth. Humans were never alone, and the galaxy had underestimated the depth of their influence. Suddenly, a high-velocity vessel appeared at the edge of the system, cloaked and erratic. It moved faster than sensors typically allowed, attempting to bypass detection. Elena's gaze narrowed, and commands were transmitted instantly. Fleets shifted seamlessly, containment grids adjusted, and energy nets deployed. Within moments, the intruding ship was trapped, unable to proceed further. No firepower was necessary, mere strategy and coordination sufficed. The Council's delegates observed, tense and silent. Every move demonstrated not only humanity's mastery of space combat, but also its philosophy: strength without recklessness, authority without unnecessary violence. Humans had shown that alliances, foresight, and precise execution could wield far more power than any barrage of weapons. The lesson was clear, and the implications were staggering. Elena spoke softly to her bridge team. Notice how every ally responded without hesitation. This is what we call the network in action. Trust, history, and preparation. No species acts alone under humanity's guidance, and no threat goes unaddressed. Her words, calm yet commanding, echoed the unspoken truth across the galaxy. The humans' reach was vast, their foresight unmatched, and their ability to unify others a force beyond measurement. The rogue ship's crew finally attempted communication. Elena authorized a secure channel. "You are contained," she said. "No harm will come to you if you comply. Understand that resistance is futile, not because of aggression, but because humanity does not act alone. Every act of hostility will be met by coordinated response from allies across light years." The vessel's energy fields flickered. Its crew realized too late that they were up against not just humans, but an entire network of civilizations acting as one. Compliance followed instantly. The containment held, but the lesson resonated louder than any weapon. Outside, fleets repositioned subtly, ensuring all sectors were monitored. The humans demonstrated restraint and precision while projecting undeniable authority. The council members could no longer view humans as mere participants. They were architects of influence, wielders of strategy, and masters of interstellar alliances. Elena allowed herself a brief moment of reflection, knowing the galaxy was witnessing history. Humanity had again proven its approach, coordination, loyalty, foresight, and subtle power could accomplish what centuries of aggression could not. The Council's perception of humans had shifted irreversibly. As night fell across the moon's surface, the council chambers lit with ambient luminescence, a symbolic reminder that humans' light, both literal and metaphorical, would not be ignored. The fleets, calm yet ready, glided silently, a message clear to all observers. Humans had arrived, not to dominate through violence, but to command respect through planning, alliances, and undeniable capability. Chapter 3 closed on this moment of quiet yet overwhelming authority. Humanity had proven, again, that their power lay not just in ships or technology, but in the strategic depth, alliances, and foresight that no council, no empire, and no rogue fleet could underestimate. The final stage of the negotiation approached, yet it was not the climax of confrontation, but the culmination of strategy, foresight, and centuries of human preparation. Commander Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, eyes scanning the holographic projections of fleets from countless worlds. Every ship, every energy field, every subtle maneuver was calculated to maintain control without provoking unnecessary conflict. Humanity had mastered a delicate balance, authority and presence without the need for destruction. The alien council watched closely from the moon's chambers. Their previous skepticism had been replaced by cautious respect. Humans were no longer a species to underestimate. Their network of allies, their ability to anticipate threats, and their mastery of diplomacy had rewritten the rules of interstellar politics. The room was silent except for low murmurs, the weight of centuries of misjudgment pressing upon even the most confident delegates. Outside, the fleets moved like a living organism. Rogue ships attempting to breach the perimeter were intercepted instantly, guided into containment zones by invisible energy nets. No destruction occurred, yet the efficiency was undeniable. The aliens could see it, yet they could not interfere. Humanity's demonstration was complete. Strategy, coordination, and alliances could achieve what brute force alone could not. A sudden alert appeared on the sensor grid. A previously unknown cloaked fleet was entering the system at extreme velocity. Elena's fingers moved across the control interface with practiced ease. Energy barriers expanded, allied ships shifted into laid formations, and drones deployed for reconnaissance. Within moments, the fleet was contained without a single shot fired. The Council observed in astonishment. Humans had demonstrated that power could be exerted through strategy, foresight, and unified action, rather than violence. Inside the council chambers, a senior delegate of a reptilian species addressed the room. We believed humans were clever, but naive. Now we see, they have orchestrated an entire web of influence and loyalty that spans the galaxy. Another, a winged species from a distant system, nodded slowly. Every response we witness is pre-planned, every ally coordinated. They are not alone, and their presence alone enforces compliance. Elena addressed the council directly, her voice calm yet resonant, carrying authority without aggression. We have come to negotiate, not to dominate. But understand this, humans do not act alone. Every fleet you see, every species responding, represents centuries of aid, trust, and alliances. Challenge us, and you face not just one species, but a coalition of civilizations united by history and loyalty. The council delegates fell silent. Every word carried weight, every display reinforced the humans' dominance through unity rather than violence. Alien emissaries exchanged uneasy glances, realizing that they were witnessing a paradigm shift. Humanity had not only arrived, but they had arrived with clarity of purpose, demonstrating that true power lay in alliances, foresight, and the careful orchestration of events. The rogue fleet that had entered the system attempted communication. Elena authorized a secure channel. "You are contained," she said. "No harm will come if you comply. Know that resistance is futile, not because of aggression, but because humans do not travel alone. Any hostile act will trigger coordinated action from countless allies across the galaxy." The intruders realized too late that they were caught in a network they could not escape. Compliance followed instantly, and the human and allied fleets resumed their positions, calm yet vigilant. The Council's members absorbed the lesson. Humans' influence was not measured in weapons alone, but in preparation, foresight, and the loyalty of countless civilizations. As the fleets maintained their orbit, Elena allowed herself a brief moment of reflection. The negotiations had succeeded not through destruction, but through demonstration of strategy, coordination, and the subtle yet undeniable power of unity. The galaxy had underestimated humans one final time. Now, every observer understood the truth. Humans traveled not alone, but with the weight of countless allies, and their presence could reshape events across light years. The moon's surface shimmered with the reflected light of the fleets, a symbolic testament to humanity's arrival. Alien delegates adjusted their postures, acknowledging the strategic brilliance and moral authority displayed. Humanity had not only secured its position, but had sent a clear message to the galaxy. Respect, loyalty, and foresight were the true measures of power. As the day ended and the fleets gradually withdrew, the council chambers were filled with quiet contemplation. Humans had turned what could have been a confrontation into a demonstration of unity and authority. Every fleet, every ally, every carefully orchestrated maneuver testified to centuries of planning and preparation. Humanity's reputation as resilient, clever, and strategically supreme was now etched indelibly across the galaxy. Commander Elena Ward watched the stars, calm yet determined. The humans had arrived. The galaxy had taken note, and the legacy of foresight, unity, and calculated authority would echo through the ages. In this moment, the Council understood a truth that no empire could ignore. Humans, when united with their allies, were unstoppable, not through brute force, but through strategy, trust, and the quiet strength of centuries-long preparation.